So to repeat and summarize, as we observe these 16 mental states, our aim is to gradually develop such a sharp mindfulness that we can see that during these unskillful mental states, which is greed and hatred especially, and perhaps delusion as well, we actually cause ourselves pain. It's a mental pain. And this mental pain, if we notice it, we may notice, that's where we want to get, we may notice that we do it to ourselves. We intentionally cause ourselves pain. It's just too subtle and too habitual to notice by a mindfulness that's not that sharp. Think about a metaphor. Think about a case where you would be asleep, and as you're asleep, you would go to a wall and beat your head over the wall. You're asleep, you don't know it. So that's the way it is. Now, suppose that you wake up and you notice, oh, wait, I am beating my head over the wall. Immediately, you would probably cover your head or something. You would stop beating the head over the wall. Because it's you who's beating the head over the wall. So you stop it. But only when you woke up, you realized that it's you who's beating the head over the wall. It's not the wall that would be beating you, a perception you had in the dream, okay, in this example. So we feel that another person is harming us when we get angry. Oh, I am angry because of that one, because this didn't work well, because I am not successful. You see, that's the perception of the wall beating your head. With sharp mindfulness, you will realize that actually it's your head you are beating the head over the wall. And as soon as you realize it, it's very easy to stop it. We do not stop it intentionally. It needs to stop naturally. It just naturally disappears. The anger should naturally stop appearing. And instead, it should be replaced by some skillful state. And we have quite a few skillful states there, so that is not a problem. With gradually deeper and sharper and sharper mindfulness, these unskillful mental states should gradually not appear at all. Hatred is probably the most, the easiest to see, but we want to also get to the level where greed and delusion do not appear. Because we see that there is a problem, that again, we are harming ourselves by greed and delusion. So as our mindfulness is sharper and sharper, we gradually can see that actually the skillful states are much better. But again, we do not try to make those skillful states. We just give them the space to appear in the mind. Because the unskillful states don't appear, because we do not want to harm ourselves, the skillful states will appear instead. Again, there should be no effort. This should be totally natural through this curiosity, this enthusiastic investigation. Then, when you have developed this peace, then this peace will have certain quality. So you may have their skillful states like loving kindness, generosity, because they are not painful, but they are a little coarse for a sitting meditation or walking meditation practice. They're pretty good outside meditation, but during meditation, they're a little coarse. Coarse means the mind cannot go deeper in its observation, process. So these two states then, or yes, the two, that is loving kindness and generosity, will gradually calm down so that it becomes non-delusion or concentration, stability of mind. So then you will end up with non-delusion, stability of mind. What's the difference? Non-delusion is temporary and not really in control. Stability of mind is the same thing. It's just that it's in control, it's stable. So you see, so non-delusion gradually becomes stability. As you progress towards stability, and the body and the mind, is stable in its in its mindfulness, there may arise wisdom. What is that wisdom? That the other states are not worth it. None of the other states are really essential. None of them are really permanent or under our control. None of them really bring us anything. They don't bring us anything permanent, anything reliable, anything that would be stable, that we could use, and we do not really have any power over them. As soon as they are there, we're just slaves. We're slaves anyway, but when these are there, we are slaves of a pretty bad slaver. And through this understanding, you can get to the goal, to the intended state, and that's number 15. Whereas there's entire detachment from all of the world. Indeed, everything in this world is impermanent, unsatisfactory, not self. So we do not remind ourselves of these three characteristics. We don't have to. There's no reason to do that. It automatically happens through open investigation. Any questions? Anything you'd like to say about that? Everything's clear. So we can move on to the 8 precepts. Yes, Tara?
And I know I didn't have like 6 hours, but I noticed that to observe the 16 mental states, the mind is always changing. It's almost like it's very tiring to observe. And I noticed that there is not even half a second of like rest in the mind. So in those cases, how do you observe it?
Do you say words to label those states, or do you just allow yourself to know which of the state it is at the moment?
I think I know most of them. There were some, not some, but several times where, for example, I do not know. I would say I was thinking, or it appears, for example, I thought about Paul Seattle's or the four jhanas that he has described in one of his teachings. In those cases, though, I do not know how to describe those feelings because I wouldn't think that they are, to quote you, unskillful, like restlessness, because it's something good desire that I wish to get. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I should call it greed either.
I see. You can also call it non-delusion, wisdom.
Non-delusion, I see. Okay.
But my question was a little different. I wanted to know whether, for example, if you saw greed, would you say in your mind greed, or
Yes.
would you just know greed? You know, the difference that
Yes.
one in one case you would say, the greed, the sound in the mind, and in the other one there would be no sound in the mind, no word at all, but you clearly know, oh, this is the greed mind.
Yes,
So
I
which
was
of the
able
two?
to differentiate exact those thoughts I described to you just now.
Yeah. So you did use the words.
Yes, I was
Okay.
able to
I
describe
think
most
if
of the
you,
time. Yeah, like except those thinking about wanting to have a better understanding of jhanas and all this. Otherwise, I was able to describe whether they were greed or laziness or
yeah,
restlessness.
but when you were able to describe, you were using the word in the mind, right? You would
Yes,
say laziness and so on.
yes,
So my point is, you don't have to do that.
I see.
You don't have to use the words. If you know, okay, this is greed, then you know it. So we know it through the meaning, not through the through the verbalization. So we just allow ourselves to know, okay, this is this state, this is that state. As soon as you allow yourself to distinguish these 16 without, the need to verbalize it, to put it into that one word, then it will not be that tiring.
Mm, thanks.
Yes. And non-delusion is very good state. As soon as you think about what did the Sayadaw teach, or how can I understand Dhamma, or how can I practice Dhamma more, that actually is non-delusion. It's a wisdom. Okay, any more question? So you can share the screen with the 8 precepts, please. And I would like to ask everybody to unmute. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Attanga. Samannagatam. Uposatha silang. Dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha. Me bhante. Anukampang. Upadaya. Dutiyampi. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Attanga. Samannagatam. Uposatha silang. Dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Attanga. Samannagatam. Uposatha silang. Dhammang yajami. Anuggaham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Saranaagamanang paripunnang.
Amabante.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adena dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya.
Surameraya.
Majja.
Majja.
Pamadatthana.
Pamadatthana.
Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana.
Vikala bhojana.
Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Najja gita.
Najja gita.
Vadita.
Padita.
Visukadasana.
Visukadasana.
Malagandha,
Malagandha,
Vilepana,
Vilebana,
Dharana Mandana,
Dharana Mandana,
Vibhusanatthana,
Vibhusanadhana,
Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami,
Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami,
Uchchasayana Mahasayana, Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami,
Ujjasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami,
Tisaranena Sadheng Attanga Samannagatang Uposatha Silang Dhammang Sadhukang Surakkitang Katva Appamadena Sampadetha.
Mama Bandi.
May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Thank you very much, Bhante.